Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about why it seems to be so much easier for us to care about other people rather than caring for ourselves. I hear it from you all the time, that you can be so kind and compassionate to your friends and family, but when it comes to your own issues, you don't have any patience or care. And I honestly wondered about this myself. So I did some research and talked to some of my colleagues, and I came up with 5 reasons that we could find it to be easier to care for others rather than ourselves. Before we get into it, today's video is brought to you by Care Of. Care Of is a vitamin delivery service that sends you personalized vitamins and supplements each month. They base their recommendations off of your answers to a quick 5-minute quiz, and their vitamins come in these handy packs that are eco-friendly and made out of compostable film. I've been taking Care Of vitamins for 3 weeks, and I will be honest, I love the extra battery packs that keeps me going throughout my day, and the other vitamins I'm taking are helping to improve my immune system and make sure I get enough vitamin D since I'm inside more now. It takes about 30 days for your body to adapt to new nutrients, so now is a great time to update your vitamins and help support your immune system this fall. Take the quiz to see what vitamins and supplements Care Of recommends for you and get 50% off your first order with my promo code Kati50. Okay, now back into why it's easier to care for others rather than ourselves. Number 1 is people pleasing. And trust me when I say I totally understand this reason. As a struggling people pleaser myself, I know how much we want others to like us and to make them happy. We can end up putting their needs before our own. And right there, I can see how this could lead to us caring more for them and their well-being. Not to mention that when we're people pleasers, we can struggle with boundaries. I mean, think about it. If we worry a lot about how others are doing, what they think about us, that doesn't always leave much room for us and what we need. In fact, we may not take the time to check in with ourselves at all and completely ignore our own mental health and well-being. Being a people pleaser in many ways means that we feel we have control over how others are doing. And if we do things just right, we can make them love us and feel better. But, spoilers, we can't make anyone care about us or feel better. They have to choose to do it on their own. They are in complete control of their responses and reactions to life, not us. So we have to pay close attention to how much we care what others think and how important it is that everyone likes us. If we struggle with the urge to people please, it could be causing us to put their needs first. The next reason could be us wanting to belong and be loved so bad that we put other people before ourselves. I know this sounds a bit like people pleasing, but I believe it goes deeper than that. And also know that I recognize that this urge is often painted as a completely bad trait. But I want you to know that we all have this urge because it's part of the human condition. What we should focus on is if that urge is greater than our need to take care of ourselves. If we want to belong and be loved more than we want to care for ourselves, that could be a problem. I was reading the end of Brené Brown's book, Braving the Wilderness, and she talks about how belonging is when we can be ourselves and be loved, whereas fitting in is when we have to do what everyone else is doing or act in a certain way in order to be part of that group. If we have to put other people first, do what everyone else wants, and not care for ourselves in order to belong, well then I would argue that we don't actually belong there at all. Instead, we're just fitting in. And I'm going to be honest that that simple definition of fitting in versus belonging was mind-blowing to me and something that I will be thinking of and applying to my own life a lot. So notice if you belong in your relationships or if you're doing all these things to try and fit in. The next reason we can prefer to help others rather than ourselves is our need to distract. You know, life is hard. Working on ourselves is hard, and we can prefer to focus on someone else's problems instead of our own. I totally get it. We can't just focus on ourselves and our own problems all the time. That would be completely exhausting. And I hope you know that I'm not saying we should only focus on ourselves, because that's not the answer either. We need to find a balance between working on ourselves and being supportive of others. It can be hard to find that balance. And while distractions give us some relief from our issues so that we can then dive back in later, we shouldn't be living in distraction land 24/7. I know it can be easier to focus on someone else's issues and offer up solutions for them, but if we don't fill our own cup first, we won't have anything substantial or beneficial to share with them. I saw something on Dr. Caroline Leaf's Instagram that said something to the effect of, distractions can be useful tools in our life to help us take a much-needed break from the hard work, but they shouldn't be seen as a solution to the problems we are facing. And frankly, I couldn't agree more. Another reason we could fall into this trap is because we struggle with confidence and self-worth. If we don't think we're worthy of attention, support, and proper help, then it's going to be hard for us to want to spend any time getting those things for ourselves. That will definitely make it easier to focus on other people and offer them understanding and care. And we're going to have to work in order to fix this. We're going to have to work on how we talk to ourselves if we want this to completely go away. Too often, we're having terribly abusive and mean conversations with ourselves. So notice what it is you're saying and believing about yourself, and use some, you knew this was coming, bridge statements. Bring it into a more happy place, right? We're getting from like negativity island to positive island, and we're gonna need a bridge to build to get us there. And I have an entire video about bridge statements if you wanna learn more, so you can just search on YouTube, Kati Morton bridge statements, and it'll pop right up. But in short, these statements are not necessarily positive, but they are bridging that gap between the negative and the positive thoughts, living in the maybes and the possibilities. For example, it's possible that I'm not as terrible as I think. That's a great bridge statement that could work here. Also, once you've recognized those common negative statements that you make about yourself and your situation, I want you to look for evidence that those statements are not true. I know this is hard, but that can also help us get out of this self-hating, focusing on other people instead of ourselves issue. The final reason we could struggle to show ourselves the same level of care and attention is if we have trauma or abuse in our past. Trauma can lead to all of the issues that we've talked about, make us think that something is inherently wrong with us, that we're too broken to be helped and not worth the effort. These feelings and issues are shame-based, and why we could think that someone else is more deserving of care than us. It can cause us to put all of our energy and support behind them, believing that we aren't worth it. But I'm here to tell you that everyone is worth it. I know it can be hard to see sometimes, but we are all deserving of a happy and full life. Don't let the assholes who abused or traumatized you take any more from you. Take your life back. Offer yourself some compassion and understanding because you need it just as much as anyone else, and you deserve it too. And remember that the real antidote to shame is vulnerability. So open up about what happened, reach out to a therapist, and know that with work and support, it does get better. I hope this video shed some light on what could be causing us to focus on other people's issues while abandoning our own. Know that we can care for others and ourselves. We just have to put our stuff first. That will ensure we have the energy, insight, and patience to balance both. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.